Okay, my first guest is a very funny and talented man. He started out as a comedian. Well, he didn't start out as a comedian. He started out as a little baby. Nobody started... I was saying that. He was a little baby, then he grew up, and they started... His first professional job was as a comedian, right? Then he worked his way... Am I going through puberty or what? My voice is changing. Into directing, and lately he's been doing more and more of that, both through commercials and episodic television. Is that about long enough introduction?
I think it's good. Who is it?
What?
Who the hell is it?
I don't know. No, it's David Steinberg. My goodness. Wow, summer is here.
Oh, yeah, I figure it's the last time to wear my whites, you know.
Something like you'd get on for the high school prom. Remember that? Your dress? I had a blue blazer and white slacks. God, I thought it was great.
But you remember who you took to the prom, too?
Yes, I do.
What was your name?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Mary Jane Beckenhauer.
Mary Jane Beckenhauer?
That's the one you told me about?
Never mind. Fine lady.
Uh-huh.
Why? Who'd you take your high school prom?
I didn't go to the high school prom. I was at theological school, you know, when we were doing, you know, I was at yeshiva.
Oh, I forgot, that's right. Yeah. They don't have those kind
they
of
were going,
gigs.
yai, bai, dai, dai, yai, dai, dai. There was no prom.
I see.
We had long earlocks and yarmulkes, and, you know, we didn't.
Really?
Yeah, we didn't. You didn't date girls. You didn't even touch girls.
Well, when was your first, what you call date then? I didn't realize this. I knew that you had gone to...
I dated because, you see, at the theological school that I was at, everyone wore a yarmulke and these sort of long payas, you know.
Yes.
But I didn't. I was sort of...
How'd your folks go with that?
Well, at the yeshiva, you know, when everyone's like that, and I was like this, I was sort of like the Mick Jagger of the group. You know what I mean? So...
really ahead of your time.
Oh, I was like Tony Curtis. I was like a real handsome guy there, because they all looked like that, and I looked like this. So the rabbi's daughters were very attracted to me. It was quite a romp. And when was my first?
What was her name?
Well,
you brought this up. I didn't bring this up.
Well, I've talked about it before. Cheryl Rombaum is...
Cheryl Rombaum?
Yeah, Cheryl Rombaum.
That's a good name for a first date. It sounds exciting going in, doesn't it? Going out with Shirley Rombaum.
And you've heard me say this before. It wasn't emotional. It was that she had breasts the size of Ethiopia. And I sort of connected with that at that age. I've become more evolved through the years, so now I care much more about what's the inside of the person, not just on the outside of the person.
Right. Physical beauty is just...
correct. And
of course,
Cheryl has
we're not a cannibal either, are we?
That's
so
right.
That's really not that important.
Right.
Okay. Where else are we going to talk about? You want to talk about what's happening in Russia? Are you following this?
Oh, this is unbelievable.
I love the networks digging up the Russian experts. They do it in any crisis.
Yes.
During the Iran crisis, and all of a sudden in the Gulf crisis, the people you've never seen before from these think tanks, you know, from Princeton or something are on there. Here is Sergei Makhnanovot.
Oh, and it happened so fast that all these guys must have been called in the middle of the night, you know, and they have to go on and talk on television.
Dan Rather was interviewing Yakov Smirnov's mother the other night. I mean, that's all he could get a hold of.
It was truly an incredible event. I mean, it was great to watch. And,
that's television at its best, really.
It's mesmerizing. I mean, and of course, what's interesting is that it is just one of the worst political coups of all time. I mean, it was a dreadful coup. I mean, it wasn't like the mother of all political coups. It was sort of like the Ishtar of all political coups.
Some columnists call the little coup that couldn't.
The little coup that couldn't.
Little coup that couldn't.
Oh, but these guys were dreadful. I mean, if these 8 guys were running a network, you know...
and they may be.
But these strike me as the kind of guys that would come up with Manimal, you know? Or Super Train.
Or the Exo-Man.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
So it was really...
I love how those guys are all lined up. It looks like they're all wearing one big suit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all gray. Yeah. And I only spent 4 days in Russia, and that was last summer. And I got the feeling I didn't want to live in a country where gray is considered a primary color. The buildings are gray. Everything has this grayness about it.
Yeah, it's just a fascinating thing to watch. And watching these guys tumble in this...
But aren't these the same guys that Gorbachev brought in himself some time ago and brought them in himself?
Yeah, he's sort of, you know, caught in this awful situation now where he and Boris Yeltsin are sort of the Martin and Lewis of Russia. You know, they're sort of a team, but I don't think they really want to be together.
Yeah.
But
I get the feeling the Russian people would probably go with anybody who will give them some food where they can go to a market and buy things.
Sure.
Whoever that is, I think they will.
Yeah, it's... I mean, I just find it just incredible.
Yeah. So what else is happening in your life?
Well, you know, it's really interesting. Coming in tonight, I was thinking of the Russian stuff, and I never did this before. I used to in the old days. I looked in the TV guide to see who was on, because I didn't know that Kenneth Branagh was on, but I looked in it and I saw that Kenneth Branagh was on, and he's a terrific director. He's a very talented man. I wanted to see his movie and all that, and I thought, oh, great. It's great to be on with Kenneth Branagh. And I saw my name there, you know, David Steinberg, so it sort of lets you know that, yes, you're on tonight. And as I was looking through the TV guide, my eye sort of wandered down, and I realized I'd never really looked at what they write in the TV guide. And down about the 8 o'clock section it's a show called Perfect Strangers, right? You've seen Perfect Strangers on ABC, that show?
Right.
And I looked at the synopsis for Perfect Strangers, and it said, Balky loses his favorite cap. And I thought to myself, well, if I'm a guy that watches Perfect Strangers, is this enough to bring me in? Am I going to be riddled with anticipation to see Balky lose his favorite cap? So then I checked the Daily News, and the Daily News they were more comprehensive.
Yeah.
They had Balky loses his favorite cap, but Larry won't help him find it.
Ah, a little more of a tease.
Yes, that's a little more. So at least I respected the guy who did that synopsis a little bit more.
Sure.
Because at least he made it through the show. You know? You gotta figure the guy that writes Balky loses his favorite cap, he didn't even stay to find out whether Larry was gonna help him or not. And then I got to think about these guys who write these synopses. Like, if it's a rerun, they don't want to just write Balky loses his favorite cap, because then you'd know you saw it. So they have to trick you and sucker you in. So they write, Balky loses a prized possession. Wow. See, that gets you, so then you don't know, wait a second, is that prized possession a red sweater? Is it the cat? Yeah, I don't even know if I saw this episode. And I'm thinking about these guys who write these synopses, you know, and do they see this? Do they expect us to really respond to this?
Yeah.
And of course, you could always look forward to the big hour show. See, the big hour show, they have to let you know in a short little sentence that there's more than just a half hour here. Right? So they have, usually in the hour shows, Balky loses his favorite cap in Hawaii. Then you know that's going to be a really exciting hour. I don't know what it is about these shows and television. I'm doing pretty well, John.
Yeah, what do you want?
I've been trying to get back to Hawaii for the last 2 years. Yes. These guys on the Jeffersons and the Brady Bunch, they're in Hawaii every minute. You know, lower middle class homes, they just pop off.
We'll talk about television when you come back, because the Emmy show is coming up, I guess.
Are you nominated for an Emmy?
The show, we're nominated, but we're in a strange category. We're up against celebrity bungee jumping. It's very strange. We can talk about that. We are up against, believe it or not, we're in the category of the Kennedy Center
Performing Arts.
It's where they give out the award, a one-time show, and the Academy Awards. It seems a strange category.
Yes, you don't really fit into that.
No, I don't quite understand the whole concept, but we'll talk about that, and we'll come back, folks, and that's a promo. That's cool. The Kennedy... Okay, folks, welcome back to our late-night harlequinade. So you really want to talk about television? What do you like to watch? Anything?
Well, you know, I don't like good stuff. You know, I don't watch it. I'm bored with good. Nothing good really impresses me anymore. But anything that's sort of a little bit bad, I watch.
Right.
You know, like the infomercials. Have you watched?
How many of you know what infomercials are? They pretend that it's a television show. They have an audience of these rubes sitting up in bleachers.
Yeah.
Well, come on, who applaud at anything? A guy cooks a pancake and
Right. Throws vegetables in a thing. And they give you the impression it's a half-hour talk show like this, you know, when they're talking spontaneously.
Right.
And they have all sorts of them. They have Robert Vaughn for the Helsinki formula.
Well, that's the doctor who has discovered this new thing.
Your new thing for you. Actually, evidently, you pour this stuff on your hair, and, you know, great tassels of hair spring forth from your hair. And
it's always a European doctor somewhere.
Yeah, it's always European. Sweet. I don't know the Helsinki formula. I guess so you'll think it's like the man from U.N.C.L.E., you know? the man from Minoxidil. I don't know. You're supposed to make these strange associations. Right. And then you see John Davidson for real estate, you know.
That's right.
And he's doing it. And they're on all the time. But late at night, on Sunday night, there are weird ones that are on. And one of my favorite is Chad Everett. Have you seen Chad Everett's show?
I don't think so.
He has a talk show, a half-hour talk talk show.
It's a commercial, really?
Yeah, it's a commercial. It's an infomercial, just like this, a talk show, and it's for a product called Encore. And Encore is evidently to allow males who have lost the ability to, how do I say, sexually perform
To consummate the...
once.
Right.
Just take this Encore. I don't know if it's a pill and suppository. I don't know what it is. But
Are you putting me on?
honest to God, no. I mean, so Chad is there selling Encore. You know, not only once if you have a problem, but twice. And then, you know, he's there obviously because he was this doctor on Marcus Welby. You know, he was Dr.
The
Gann. And so he'd say,
association.
hey, it's a doctor selling me this Encore, you know. I go once, man, I would like to go twice, you know, maybe I'll pop for it. Then they have these guys in the audience. And you're supposed to believe that these guys in the audience just walked in. You know, the fact that they're all wearing the same shirt, all rolled up just about over here, right? And then Chad looks out and says to this audience that's supposed to be spontaneous, how many men out there have a problem with impotence? And they all lift up their hands.
Everyone.
What a coincidence. He just went out in Fairfax and brought in 95 impotent men who are really proud to talk about it. Impotence, me, Chad, me.
Give me one, Chad. I want that.
Me, I haven't had sex in years. Chad, me. And you know, I can understand Chad Everett doing it because it's a commercial. That's my business. I direct a lot of commercials, but it interests me is how does his agent talk him into it? You know? What was that conversation like? He said, you know, Chad...
Can't get you Columbo.
Yeah, the kind of Columbo, the Robert De Niro parts aren't really coming in the way that they should be, a man of your talents, but let me cut to the chase here, Chad.
Yeah, what do you got for me?
Well, how'd you like to be the spokesman for a product that teaches men to enhance their, teaches men basically to have an erection? How would you like to be that guy? And Chad, of course, has to say, I'm that guy. And I'll tell you something. Now, are we to assume that Chad had a problem? I don't think that. He's a virile guy, you know. I wonder if he thought of that. I shouldn't be associated with this. People will think that maybe I need Encore.
Well, I suppose...
When I need Bravo, actually. Is what Chad does. But there is another one. Lyle Wagner. I mean, this is really weird. Lyle Wagner has one on television. I know you think I'm making this up. So you
I think I know about this.
You know, but Lyle Wagner has one for penile implants. And it's a half-hour talk show for penile implants. Lyle again poses the question, how many people are interested in a penile implant? Me, Lyle! Lyle! I would like to get one of those gooseneck lamp things that can still renew. So, whatever I
Well, if you look at it...
like a personal button.
Look at it this way, you buy one of those, you wouldn't need the Encore stuff, would you?
But, you know, at least
I gotta cut away.
At least Marcus Welby's a doctor, you know what I mean? Lyle Wagner is Wonder Woman's military advisor, you know?
We'll be right back, folks.